a CBC color presentation.
Night in Canada, brought to you by Imperial Oil and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors. Ford, the better idea company with better products for you. And by Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale and Molson Canadian Lager Beer.
From the Forum in Montreal, Hockey Night in Canada brings you the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. Hello again, everybody. I'm Brian McFarland, and tonight we have one of those games that really generate excitement. The current Stanley Cup champions, Boston, and the former champions, Montreal. 5 points separate the two clubs. After tonight, it could be 7 points, or it could be 3. So we have Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito, and the rest of the Stanley Cup champions, but no Stanley Cup, because it was stolen today from the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. We'll return with Dick Irvin in just 1 minute.
You know, to fully enjoy a Molson Export Ale, there are a lot of things you really don't need, like taking on the Red Baron, or zooming around like this, or flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Some things are good enough on their own, without a lot of frills. Like the taste of a Molson Export Ale. Always great. Nearly 200 years of brewing know-how sees to that. And isn't this what drinking beer is all about? Comfortable place, good friends. And Molson Export Ale. Export has a great taste. It stays great. Brew after brew, and you can count on that.
Molson Export Ale. Keeps on tasting great.
The broadcast booth area at the Montreal Forum. You know, this week it seems the off-ice stories in hockey have made as much news as the on-ice stories. Here in Montreal, of course, the Canadiens changed coaches. This is how General Manager Sam Pollock announced it at a news conference at noon hour on Thursday.
Made several moves this morning. These are not emotional moves. These are moves after very considered opinion. Al MacNeil is taking over, effective immediately, as coach of Lake Canadiens. Ron Caron will be assistant general manager of Canadiens. Floyd Curry will move to assistant vice president and general manager of Les Voyageurs. Claude Ruel is returning to his former post of Director of Player Development and Chief Scout. Roland Ricard's job has been expanded to take care of player appearances and those aspects of the job, Mr. Curry's job, which he formerly handled.
Al MacNeil won his coaching debut Thursday night against St. Louis, and he'll be behind the bench tonight when Hockey Night in Canada returns with the opening faceoff.
You know, to fully enjoy a Molson Export Ale, you really don't need a voyage to the bottom of the sea. Some things are good enough on their own, without a lot of frills. Like the taste of a Molson Export Ale, always great. And isn't this what drinking beer is all about? Comfortable surroundings and Export Ale. Molson Export has a taste that stays great, and you can count on that.
Molson Export Ale. Keeps on tasting great.
Good evening, hockey fans from coast to coast in Canada. Danny Gallivan and Dick Irvin in the broadcast booth here at the Forum. The Bruins and the Canadiens lining up as we just come to this time for the national anthem.
Mesdames et messieurs, notre hymne national. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
officials tonight, the referee, Bruce Hood, and the linesman, Claude Bayshire on the right of the referee. On the left is Neil Armstrong. And Dick, I think you had just about 5 seconds for lineup changes.
Danny, the Bruins are at full strength. The Canadiens missing Jean Beliveau, Jacques Laperriere, Larry Flo, and Ivan Cournoyer. Ralph Backstrom is back in uniform out of retirement, and they have Phil Roberto, number 17, up from the American League Voyageurs.
And it's Esposito against Lemaire, and the game is underway. Dallas Smith, and there's Orr, number 4. Off the boards. Actually, it hit Dallas Smith, and Orr clearing it up. Harper knocking it ahead. They fight for it in Boston territory. A rolling puck. Harper back into Ferguson. Here's Ferguson shooting it on the short side. Eddie Johnston had it well covered. Now Ferguson for LaRose. It's centered, and down the ice it goes. This is the second meeting of the season between these two teams from the first game here at the Forum in Montreal between the Bruins and the Canadiens. Boston won the first one, 6-1. Lemaire coming in against Dallas Smith. Bobby Orr clearing it over to Esposito, and what a year Esposito is having so far. He's the leading point getter with 43 and 18 goals. Harper for Ferguson. Ken Hodge moves in against Ferguson. Now here's Dallas Smith rolling it, and Savard moves to the left wing. Hodge keeping it in for Boston, over off the boards to Cashman. He's centered away to Esposito. A shot, a loose puck in front of the net. Cashman shoots. He scores! Cashman.
And the Boston Bruins have taken a 1-0 lead with the game just a little over 1 minute old. They got a break when the puck stayed in the Canadian zone when it hit the official, and the fans are incensed about that. But look at the chances they get here before Cashman finally scores. First it's Esposito, and Phil Meir cannot control that puck, although he seems to have a chance to. Then it's kicked away. Serge Savard tries to play the goaltending role, but Cashman is there to fire it into the empty net, and it's 1-0 Boston.
Avec l'aide du numéro 7, Phil Esposito, et du numéro 8, Ken Hodge, à 1 minute 18 secondes. Boston goals scored by number 12, Wayne Cashman, assisted by number 7, Phil Esposito, and number 8, Ken Hodge. The time, 1 minute 18 seconds.
Now the Canadiens coming back, jamming in on the boards. Richard against Stanfield. Green up on the right side to McKenzie. Busick rolling it ahead on the right wing. Green winds up for the shot, the rebound. Canadiens coming out with Réjean, Ohl, and Redmond. Redmond over the line, the shot. And now the puck to Redmond up beside the net. Getting set to center it. Stanfield has it for Boston. Boston leading 1-0. J.C. Trombley over for Redmond. And Canadiens feed it back in there. Green off the boards. It goes to center. Trombley. For Montreal, hits Réjean. Ohl with it. Going in on that right side. Ohl trying to center it. Blocked by Green. Teddy Green, the native of St. Boniface, clears it out to Stanfield at center. There's the shot. Phil Meir leaving it for J.C. Trombley as the Bruins make changes on the move. Richard out with Redmond. Richard hitting the line. Moving to the left side, and Orr takes over for Boston. Cardiff is forward now, number 11 for Montreal. Bobby Orr, the game's number 1 superstar. Ahead it goes to Don Marcotte, in off the boards to Eddie Westfall, getting set to center it. Blocked by Guy Lapointe. Marcotte was bumped by Lapointe. Richard and number 21, Marcotte, jam each other in the boards.
This game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Get the smooth taste you'll flip over. Molson Canadian. It's the crowd pleaser.
Line Lining up for the face-off to the left of Mears. Sanderson bumped by Peter Mahavlich. Now it's Savard out for Montreal, a right-wing pass. Rochefort racing in against Marcotte, who touched it for Boston. And the Canadiens are called on the ice.
Well, on that goal, the Bruins received a couple of breaks, and you don't give Boston 2 breaks in one play and not expect to be burned by it, and that's what happened to the Canadiens as they took that 1-0 lead. Leon Rochefort playing in right wing on this line with Mahavlich and Tardif taking over from the injured Ivan Cornway. He has a wrist injury. He's out of the lineup.
Savard slapping it for Tardif. Westfall ties up Tardif. Now they jam in on the boards again, and the play is stopped. And Dick, I think this game for the fans more attractive than any other game we've had here this year. And we'll have a crowd, I would think, of over 18,000. We haven't had an 18,000 crowd so far this year at the Forum. Now it goes down the ice into Bruin territory, and it's Dallas Smith back there for it. Mahavlich after Smith. Boston leading 1-0. Mahavlich takes Smith in on the boards. Sanderson and Tardif moving in there, too. And they line up for the face-off to the left of Eddie Johnston. And the first meeting of the year between these two teams was a brawl all the way in Boston. How do you like that mustache, Dick, on Sanderson? Now Dallas Smith and Mahavlich again. In goes Rochefort. Lost it to Sanderson. Tardif against Orr. Here's Orr coming out, picking his way out. Ran into Sanderson. Tardif is coming back with Rochefort. Back. Tardif. Mahavlich couldn't get the shot away. Rochefort passed it back when I think everybody thought he was going to go in and shoot it himself. There's Dallas Smith in on the line, called on the offside.
From the Forum in Montreal, hockey night in Canada.
You know, to fully enjoy a Boston Export Ale, you don't have to catch that lucky brass ring. Some things are good enough on their own, without a lot of extra frills. Like the taste of a Molson Export Ale, always great. And isn't this what drinking beer is all about? Good friends and Molson Export. Export has a taste that stays great, and you can count on that.
Molson Export Ale keeps on tasting great.
Lining up for the face-off outside the Canadiens' blue line, 4 minutes. 11 seconds have elapsed in the opening period with Boston leading 1-0 on a goal by the native of Kingston, Wayne Cashman, his 7th of the year. Rochefort had the great chance there for the Canadiens, but elected to pass back, and that was baffling to a lot of people. J.C. Tremblay. He hits Lemaire with it, coming out with LaRose and Ferguson. LaRose has it on the right side, over the line. Cashman back-checking for Boston. In on the boards, they fight for it. Now Ferguson getting it loose. He's jammed in on the boards by Ken Hodge. LaRose has it. LaRose still with it, making some fine moves. Back to Tremblay, a shot. Here's LaRose ready for Ferguson. And a great save there by Eddie Johnston. I think Johnston got a piece of it. Now Esposito shooting it into Canadian territory, and Ferguson with a great scoring chance right out in front. And it hopped over Cashman's stick. Now, Canadians on the left side. Lemaire shooting it. And the rebound. Green fails to clear it out. Guy Lapointe shooting it. Right in front of the net it goes. And it's knocked off to the wing by Don Orry. Cashman with Esposito and Hodge. There's the shot. Esposito centering it in front. Canadians, Ferguson down on the right side. Tremblay with him. Ferguson clearing it into the corner. Getting set to center it. It's knocked back toward the wing, and Esposito for Boston. Ahead to Cashman, to Esposito over the line. Back to Cashman. Over to Hodge. He shoots it. And a tremendous chance there for Boston. Great passing by the Boston Bruins. Now it's LaRose. Firing it to the line to Lemaire. Lemaire winds up the long shot. And there's Orr in there to pick it up for the Bruins. Canadians have made changes. Here's Bobby Orr gathering speed out over the line. A right wing pass goes to John McKenzie going in. Here's McKenzie. Back to Orr. Winds up with a shot. A whistling drive low and wide. Stanfield lost it to J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay. Ahead it goes to Réjean Houle. The shot. And there goes Orr. Orr turning. Getting some skating room now. Harper comes on to take over from Tremblay. The Bruins out over the line with Rick Smith. Smith shooting it into Canadian territory, and it's Harper. Ahead it goes on the boards. Now Harper cleared it through center. Down the ice it goes. And it's Boston 1, Montreal no score. 13 minutes and 5 seconds left in the opening period. Stanfield to Busick. He tips it for Rick Smith. Smith going to the line, going in against Harper. Smith still has it. And there's going to be a penalty here. Harper of Montreal did the holding on Rick Smith.
From the Forum in Montreal, hockey night in Canada.
You know, beer is a very human thing. People make it, people drink it, which leads us to believe if you're the people brewing it, you better make sure it has the right taste for the people who drink it. This is a fermentation room. Here you see thousands of gallons of Molson Export Ale fermenting. We tell you that Export Ale keeps on tasting great. The brewmaster and his men, some of our people who make sure we keep our word. Molson Export Ale keeps on tasting great.
Terry Harper getting a hooking penalty at 7:09 here in the first period, and there you see it as he hauls down Rick Smith.
Face off to the right of Phil Muir. Now Busick playing it back. Here's Stanfield going in, takes the shot. Muir giving it to Guy Lapointe. Off the boards to the point, Bobby Orr holding it in. Here's Orr. A pass for Stanfield, a shot right in front. McKenzie couldn't tip it onto the target. Busick out to McKenzie. McKenzie to Bobby Orr. Orr winds up for the shot. A high drive off to the wing. Now it's Busick. Busick getting set to center it, and Tremblay has it. Leon Rochefort knocks it into the center ice area. On the penalty, a minute and 25 seconds left as Esposito comes in, cleared it. And there's J.C. Tremblay sending it back into Boston territory. We have Collins and Rochefort up front with Tremblay and Guy Lapointe on defense for the Canadiens. Now Orr ahead to Esposito. Esposito at the line, dumped it into the corner, and it's Tremblay. Busick is after him. J.C. Tremblay taking his time, dragging the puck, gives it to Guy Lapointe. Over to Collins. Collins is down at the line. Collins killing off seconds too. Back it goes to Tremblay. Canadians with an effective defensive pattern going here. Guy Lapointe over to Rochefort. On the right side of Collins going down to Guy Lapointe. Collins shoots it. And he was wide with it. Back it goes to the Canadian zone. And there are 30 seconds left in the penalty. J.C. Tremblay sending the Bruins down the ice. And that's about the best effort defensively the Canadians have come up with, killing off penalties this year. There it goes to Ken Hodge on the right side. A hot shot. It went off Phil Muir, but lucky for him and the Montreal team, it went to the side of the net and was wide.
And he mentioned the penalty killing as of now with 6 seconds left in the penalty to Terry Harper, and Collins came very close that time as he went for that far corner. The Canadians have not scored a goal while they have been shorthanded this year, but the Bruins have 9, and that's only 5 short of the NHL single-season record.
There's been a rash of scoring while teams have been shorthanded this year. There's Ted Green winding up. Try to set up Don Marcotte. Marcotte centering, and it went through the lip of the crease. Here's Green again taking his shot. J.C. Tremblay with it. Penalized player back on. Mahovlich is on for the Canadians with Rochefort. Rochefort has it on the wing. Starting out, Boston leading 1-0, and there's a high drive in among the spectators.
Reminder that next Wednesday night, Hockey Night in Canada will bring you the action from Toronto as the Canadiens meet the Maple Leafs. Please check your local television listings for the time and the station in your area. Wednesday night, Montreal at Toronto.
10 minutes and 30 seconds left in this opening period. Now it's Tardif from Montreal. Passes it to the wing. Marcotte knocking it to center. Savard lets it in wide. Ted Green being watched by Phil Roberto. Roberto gets it around the net to Tardif. It's centered off the boards for Harper. Harper shoots it. A weak shot. And Don Orr lost it to Phil Roberto. Roberto around the net, centers it out in front, and Sanderson cleared it. Roberto a shot, and it goes to the corner. Marcotte, out it goes to Sanderson, a right wing pass to Westfall, and that was fine defensive work there by Roberto, who had been very effective offensively just before that. Savard over to Roberto, ahead to Mahovlich, called on the offside.
Phil Roberto has had a couple of trials with the Canadiens. He played junior hockey in Niagara Falls. The Bruins brought up many of their fine young stars from that junior club. Roberto and Phil Meir, now with the Canadiens, both played with the Falls team.
Only one goal scored so far in the game. The Bruins, Wayne Cashman getting the goal from Esposito and Hodge of 118 in this period. Now Don Orr shooting it in. That's Roberto again for Montreal, firing it to the side. Sanderson takes over for Boston. Marcotte shot. Westfall trying to center it against Savard. Roberto taking it in on the boards. Roberto for Mahovlich. Back to Roberto again. Canadiens finally get skating room with Harper coming down on the right side. Green knocking down a pass. Sanderson. Westfall, the checking getting a bit on the close side right here after a wide-open beginning to this game. Now Harper bodies Don Marcotte. Savard back into his own zone. Ahead for Mahovlich. Mahovlich playing it off the boards neatly. Coming down against Green. Here's Mahovlich cutting in on that left side. Shoots it. A rebound, and that was a fine effort by big Mahovlich. And now bodies Don Marcotte. Redmond shooting it in. Now Tardif goes after Don Orr. Phil Esposito with Eddie Westfall, who takes it off the board, centering it into Harper. Back for Montreal Canadiens with Redmond. Redmond missed the pass. Mahovlich and Esposito were mixing it up. Let's see who's going on.
From the Forum in Montreal, Hockey Night in Canada.
Choice. Choice. Choice is what great hospitality is all about. Choice is what Molson Pleasure Pack is all about. 12 Molson Canadian Lager beer and 12 export ale. Together in a money-saving pack. For your party, get the good choice in refreshment. Molson Pleasure Pack. It helps make parties popular.
11 minutes, 42 seconds. The penalties to Boston, number 7, Phil Esposito, 2 minutes for holding, and to Canadiens, number 20, Pete Mahovlich, 2 minutes for roughing. At 11 minutes, 42 seconds.
11:42 the time of the penalties. Esposito for holding and Mahovlich for roughing.
And we have a delay, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. The linesman doing some repair work to the ice. During our first intermission tonight, you'll see highlights of Thursday's game between the Canadiens and the St. Louis Blues. And there we see the two rookie coaches. First it was Al MacNeil, and there's Tom Johnson. And Danny's certainly no stranger in this rink.
Played for 13 seasons with the Canadiens on defense. Played very well. 2 years as a player with the Boston Bruins, and now their coach, there's Orr to Hodge, who winds up for the shot off the boards. Cashman took it on a skate, now tries to center it. J.C. Tremblay to Richard. 1-0, the Bruins are leading here. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the period. Here's Richard over the line, cutting into the corner, shooting it, and Eddie Johnston pulls it. And we have 7:52 left in the period. You know, the Bruins, coming into this game, had scored 102 goals in 25 games, just about 4 goals a game. And that's power for Santa Fe. The first three scorers are Bruins, Esposito, Orr, and Hobbs. Havlich has become the #1 point getter for the Montreal Canadiens. Now it's Orr. Out to center, winds up for the shot, the rebound. And that was a dangerous rebound. Richard coming out over the line. Guy Lapointe on the left side has it. There's the shot. That was a quick drive by Lapointe. Redmond getting it back to J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay back into Redmond. Here's Redmond winding up for the shot. Eddie Johnston clearing it away from Richard. It's a souvenir for somebody down there in the south end.
Just to complete the first intermission along with those Canadiens Blues highlights, Larry Fairholm and Terry Evanson of the Grey Cup champion Alouettes will be along. And the man Tom Johnson replaced, Harry Sinden, will be with us as the analyst for tonight's hockey game.
Ralph Backstrom out there for the first time since coming out of retirement. #6, Backstrom, and he got a hand from this big crowd as he stepped on. 50 seconds left in the penalties. Orr, over it goes to Dallas Smith. Smith at the line, clearing it in. Bill Muir plays it, and J.C. Tremblay got it back to the corner, and that's Guy Lapointe with it. So we have Backstrom and Lemaire up front. With Lapointe and J.C. Tremblay, Stanfield and McKenzie for the Bruins, along with Dallas Smith and Orr. Now Guy Lapointe, a left wing pass. Here's Lemaire going into the corner, centering it. Backstrom couldn't catch up with it. Backstrom, a pass over to Lemaire. There it goes. J.C. Tremblay, he scores!
J.C. Tremblay scores his first goal of the season on a play which saw him remarkably all alone. Now, the one defense man disappears. Orr goes to take Lemaire, who passes it to Tremblay, who then dekes Johnson out of position. And that pass from Jacques Lemaire came a mile a minute. Tremblay had to do a lot of good work to knock it down. 1-1.
Avec le numéro 25, Jacques Lemaire, et numéro 6, Ralph Backstrom. À 13 minutes 30 secondes. Canadiens goal scored by #3, Jean-Claude Tremblay, assisted by #25, Jacques Lemaire, and #6, Ralph Backstrom. The time, 13 minutes, 30 seconds.
And as the announcement was being made about the Canadiens goal, Derek Sanderson gives the Bruins the lead again on a tremendous shot. Watch Sanderson with that quick action to get that puck up into the top right-hand corner. On the pass-out from behind the net, and he just lets it go all in one motion. And the Bruins have the lead again very quickly, 2-1.
Boston's goal scored by #16, Derek Sanderson, assisted by #10, Rick Smith.
Phil Muir, who's been having trouble all night on these long shots, lost that one, and it almost went back in over the goal line, Dick.
It was a very strange one. Watch it now as Muir deflects the puck high, and as Danny said, he didn't know where it was for a minute. It's up over his head. Look out, Phil. Down off the shoulder, and he recovers just in time.
6 minutes left in this, the first period, and the Bruins leading the Canadiens 2-1. Savard behind the net. Rochefort is on that right side. On the left wing is Tardif. Havlich missed the pass, trying to cut through center. Now Harper lost it to Sanderson, getting set. There's the shot off Bill Muir, and on the spectators.
A lot of people in here from out of town. You notice the youngster in the center of your screen. 8 years of age from Sydney, Nova Scotia, Mark McKinley. He says he's a Bobby Orr fan. Look at that #4. He's in the crowd.
Now it's Savard from the corner, working his way out. Sanderson watching him. Savard picking it up again. Try to get it ahead to Mahovlich. Savard working into the corner. Still has it. Centered it. And Green knocked it off to Sanderson. Rochefort clearing it back in for Montreal. Rick Smith with Tardif giving him some trouble. Smith still with it. Tardif stays with him, but it's now Ted Green for Boston. Out over the line, Marcotte is on the left side. Sanderson has it. A lead pass for Westfall. And Tardif with Westfall after him. Rochefort comes up with it for the Canadiens. And the Bruins staying right on top of Montreal here, but Mahovlich starts out with Rochefort on the right side, ahead for Rochefort. Getting set to center it, he does, right in front. And Green was there for the Bruins. Here's Mahovlich falling over Green. Sanderson shoots it to the far side. Harper against Marcotte. Rochefort clearing it back in, and now the Canadiens take a turn at staying on top of Boston. Guy Lapointe takes a shot. And Sanderson clearing it to Marcotte. On the right side, Sanderson into the corner. Lapointe bodied him. They fight for it. Sanderson stays with it, centers it to Marcotte. Sanderson shoots it. Marcotte tried to center it, and this Sanderson is having a great game for the Boston Bruins in this first period. J.C. Tremblay, a fine move to get away from Westfall out to Mahovlich. Cashman on the right side, shooting it back into Boston, came in front of the empty net. Now is Rochefort clearing it ahead. Mahovlich goes off the ice and doesn't go after the pass. Dallas Smith ahead to Hodge, and it's offside.
This game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Export has a great taste. It stays great. Brew after brew, and you can count on that.
Sanderson from Smith and Green at 13:44. And before that, it was J.C. Tremblay from Lemaire and Backstrom at 13:30. First Boston goal, Cashman from Esposito and Hodge. And that is the scoring story up to this point with 3:37 left in the first period. Boston 2, Montreal 1. Orr. Rose trying to stop it. Here's Orr working in the corner. Ahead to Cashman. Cashman out on the line. Shooting it in, Ferguson and J.C. Tremblay moving in from Montreal. Tremblay ahead to Lemaire. The Rose on the far right side over the line. Boston clearing it out to Cashman. Cashman against Ferguson. The Rose picking it up, hands it off to Lapointe. Back to J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay. Pass is blocked by Esposito. Recovered. Tremblay to Lapointe. Now it goes to LaRose. LaRose out to Lemaire. Lemaire in the center ice area. And Dallas Smith to Bobby Orr. Orr has not made so far any of his spectacular rushes so far tonight. 2:37 left in this period. Now Orr. Coming out slowly, the pass goes to the left side. Esposito through center away from Lemaire. Shooting it into Canadian territory. And it's Tremblay. Again for Montreal to Lemaire. Coming out over the line with Ferguson. Ferguson has it on the right side. Ferguson ridden in the boards by Hodge. Orr laying it behind the net. There's Dallas Smith with Ferguson after him. And Boston clearing him down the ice. Tremblay faked the pass. Now gets it out to Lemaire. Lemaire ahead for Ferguson. And Hodge cleared it away. And again the checking. Getting close. Cashman swinging out over the line. Ran into Richard. Bobby Orr ahead for Cashman. Cashman overskated it. Now to Orr. Here's Orr hitting the line. Winding up for the shot. And Demir grabbed it with J.C. Tremblay now for Montreal. Tremblay ahead to Richard. Richard lost it to Hodge. Guy Lapointe for Montreal down with Richard. He has it over the line. Richard takes the shot. It goes off. Orr in front of the net. And Esposito back for Boston. Busey coming up in the play. Here's Esposito trying to swing in front. Took a poke at it. Phil Muir covering up on that short side.
Phil Esposito, as Danny mentioned, off to a fantastic start to this season in the National Hockey League. He's been in close twice tonight, and Mir, and has not scored. 18 goals, 25 assists in 24 games prior to tonight.
Esposito, very big, 6'1", 195 pounds, Dick, and all the players will tell you he's a tough fellow to move out of there when he's in front of the opposing goal. Crack in the ice is being attended to by Claude Bechar, and they're all set now for the face-off to the left of Mir. Boston 2, Montreal 1. Savard out on the line, clearing it ahead. Green for Boston, lost it. Richard turning for Canadians. In on the right side, here's Redmond. Redmond shooting it right on, and Johnston covering up against Régent Hughes. 54 seconds left. It's Sanderson, Marcotte, and Westphal against Mahavlich, Rochefort, and Tardif. Number 21, Rochefort poised for his shot. Should Mahavlich get that puck back to him? Sanderson, one of the best face-off men in the game. He gets it and cleared it into the corner to Rick Smith. At the point, here's Harper winding up for a shot. Rick Smith for the Bruins, clearing it. Rochefort getting it. A back pass. Mahavlich lost it to Smith. Mahavlich actually didn't have possession. Now Sanderson ahead to Marcotte. He just clears it into Canadian territory. 30 seconds left in this period. The opening period. Marcotte racing to the wing. And Rick Smith back into the center ice area. Smith clearing it ahead. Harper was in there for Montreal, and they seem to be playing it on a rather cautious note right now. Harper ahead to Rochefort. A right wing pass to Mahavlich. Mahavlich down against Smith. Mahavlich shoots it. A backhand shot. And then Mahavlich has tremendous moves. Here's Savard. And the period is over. Boston 2, Montreal 1.
Shots on goal in the first period by the Bruins 13 and by the Canadiens 12. From the Forum in Montreal, Hockey Night in Canada.
And now, Molson Canadian entertains. Cool, clear Canadian fits in with the action. When Molson Canadian's on the scene, it's so popular a party really takes off. So when it's your turn to entertain, make a big splash with all your friends. Choose Molson Canadian. It's the crowd pleaser.
Well, that was a great period of hockey, possibly the best period we've seen this year, but we'll save the period summary for Danny Gallivan in order to repeat the news from Toronto tonight about the theft of the Stanley Cup and two other trophies from the Hockey Hall of Fame today. The Stanley Cup has been abused and kicked around and misplaced in the past. For example, it was once drop-kicked into the Rideau Canal many years ago by an Ottawa player. It was once left on a Montreal street corner by some celebrants after a victorious Stanley Cup game. And in the early 60s, a Montreal fan tried unsuccessfully to steal it from a showcase in the Chicago Stadium during a playoff game. Well, tonight it's gone, stolen from the Hockey Hall of Fame along with the Conn Smythe Trophy and the Bill Masterton Trophy. So let's hope it's returned safely and in short order. Our game of the week tonight features the St. Louis Blues and the Montreal Canadiens in a game played at the Montreal Forum on Thursday night. The game marked the coaching debut of Al MacNeil, who came out a winner in his first big league start. St. Louis opened the scoring at 9:55 of the first period when Noel Picard fired a shot from the point that was tipped in by Terry Crisp. Britt Selby got the puck packed to Picard. Picard had plenty of shooting room, and Crisp was right there to deflect the puck through the legs of Rogie Vachon. Here it is again. It was only the second goal of the season for Terry Crisp. St. Louis won, Montreal no score. Less than a minute later, Pete Mahovlich tied the score with his 12th goal of the season on a play set up by J.C. Tremblay. It was the first of 2 goals Mahovlich scored during the night's play. With 47 seconds left in the period, Mark Tardif put the Canadiens in front 2-1 with his 4th of the year. A perfect pass from Leon Rochefort put Tardif in the clear, and he beat Glenn Hall cleanly. Early in the second period, the Blues tied it up when Jim Lorentz scored from Tim Ecclestone and Barclay Plager. Vachon loses his stick on the play, and it's tipped into the net. And late in the period, Mickey Redmond uncorked one of his hard shots to beat Glenn Hall from long range after making a neat move to get around Red Berenson. J.C. Tremblay and Guy Lapointe drew assists on the play. We'll watch again the move by Mickey Redmond. There he is shifting around Berenson, and the shot goes high into the corner of the net, number 11 for Redmond. Guy Lapointe put Montreal in front 4-2 in the third period after Jacques Lemaire missed a good scoring opportunity. Lapointe, who continues to look as good as any rookie in the league, blasted a shot in the general direction of the St. Louis net. It was deflected in midair, and Lapointe collected goal number 9. He could easily become one of the few defensemen in NHL history to chalk up a 20-goal season. The Canadiens were flying in the third period, and Pete Mahovlich scored his 13th of the season from Rochefort and Ferguson at the 5:20 mark. Frank St. Marseille made one outstanding move past the midway mark of the period. He beat Lapointe easily. In fact, Lapointe's skate slipped out from under him on the play. Then he fooled Rogie Vachon with a little deke from in close that Vachon might have seen coming. We'll look at that one again. Here's St. Marseille moving in. Lapointe slips and goes down. And then watch now as Vachon fails to protect the far corner of the net. But it was the Blues' last goal. Rochefort, who played a great game, scored his first of the season to close out the scoring at 15:21, this time from Tardif and Savard. And you'll notice how high Rochefort gets the puck up into the net from in close. In fact, any higher, and it might have gone right over. So Montreal won it 6-3, our game of the week from the Forum. Well, next Wednesday night on Hockey Night in Canada, we'll bring you the game from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto between the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Coming up, Dick Irvin and 2 members of the Grey Cup champion Montreal Alouettes when Hockey Night in Canada continues in a minute.
And now, Molson Canadian entertains.
Molson Canadian, the lager beer that's bright and clear. Molson Canadian, it drinks so smooth any time of year. So smooth, it looks so clear, just right for folks who really know their beer. Next time you've got a thirst for a lager bright and clear, Molson Canadian Lager Beer.
So when it's your turn to entertain, choose Molson Canadian Lager Beer. It's the crowd pleaser.
Is more than ever #1 in 71 with brand new styling and 6 all-new models. Mach 1, Grande, Convertible, Boss 351, Sports Roof, and the low-cost hardtop. More than ever in 71, Mustang is #1. See your Ford dealer.
All fans have come to the end of a very emotional week as they are basking in the glory of the Grey Cup victory by the Alouettes. And 2 of the champions are with us tonight. On my right, Terry Evanson, and on my far right, defensive captain Larry Fairholm. And Larry, are the boys back down to earth yet after the events of the Grey Cup victory?
Yes, Dick, I think we're starting to realize and believe in ourselves that we really are true Grey Cup champions now.
You certainly are. Terry, everybody here in Montreal just astounded at the turnout with literally hundreds of thousands at that parade on Monday. How did the boys feel about it?
Well, we were certainly astounded. Over 300,000 people in that parade, and I thought I was still at the Grey Cup because the way the fans they reacted. They were just wild.
Terry, you've now played in 2 Grey Cup games. Was your second game any different for you than the first? Did you feel a little more relaxed?
Well, I won't say I felt any more relaxed. I approached the Grey Cup game like I normally do during the season because it's no different a ball game, although the emotional impact is greater because of the press coverage and the final build-up to the end of the season. But in 68, I think we had a great football club, too, in Calgary. But this one here, 3 strikes against us, everyone called us out, and that's the way it was all season, so it's a good way to finish things off.
A little extra for you maybe in there playing Calgary, your old team?
Well, I would say a little.
Larry, you lived through some pretty tough years in Montreal. You waited, actually, this is your 6th season now, to get into the Grey Cup game. But this organization and this football spirit in this city, there's a lot to be said for the way it has come back in just 1 year. It is amazing.
Well, it is amazing, Dick. I look over the past years, and a lot of players have been receiving a lot of accolades as to their abilities and the success that they've enjoyed this season. But I don't think enough success or accolades can be given to the administration, Mr. Berger, Mr. O'Quinn, Mr. Albrecht, and the coaching staff. They have just brought a professional attitude back to Montreal, where I think it was lacking for many, many years.
And certainly, Larry, you fellows have got a young team. There's no reason why this sort of thing can't continue.
Yeah, I think Terry and I are probably the old men on the team, and we're only about, speaking for myself, I'm only 28, and I still feel pretty good for a few more seasons.
Larry and Terry, thank you very much for dropping by. Certainly in Montreal, we are proud of the Alouettes. I know the folks in Calgary won't mind this little interview. It's a big story for Canadian sport this year, and boys, once again, sincere congratulations to you and all.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Larry Fairholm and Terry Evanson of the Grey Cup champion Montreal Alouettes. Now let's get back upstairs and join Danny Gallup.
And so at the end of one period here at the Forum in Montreal, the Bruins leading the Canadiens 2-1 on goals by Cashman and Sanderson, and for Montreal, it was J.C. Tremblay. The Bruins outshot the Canadiens in that period 13-12. In Toronto, first period is over and there's no score between New York and Toronto. Detroit at St. Louis, nothing to report as yet. Pittsburgh is leading Vancouver 1-0 in the first period. Blackburn has scored for Pittsburgh. Chicago at Minnesota is later, and Philadelphia at Los Angeles is much later, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And now let's take a look at the standings. First, in the East Division, the Boston Bruins on top with 33 points. In second place, the New York Rangers. They have 32. Montreal, third with 28. Vancouver, a big surprise this year, playing fine hockey. They're in fourth place with 23 points. Detroit is fifth with 20. Toronto, sixth with 15. And Buffalo in the cellar with 13 points. In the West Division, the Chicago Blackhawks are beginning to open up quite a lead there. They are in first place, 6 points ahead of St. Louis. Minnesota third with 25. Philadelphia fourth has 24. Pittsburgh has 19 in fifth place. Los Angeles is sixth with 18. And California, finding it difficult to really get moving, they're in the cellar with 14 points. So those then are the standings in the East and the West Division. And the scorers, Esposito is the leader with 44. He has 18 goals. Hodge is next with 35. Or Orr with 35, and Hodge with 32. Bobby Hull, 29. Del Vecchio, 29. McKenzie, 27. Rattel, 25. Keon, 25. And Kurtenbach, 25. And so here at the Forum in Montreal, the score at the end of one period, the Boston Bruins 2 and the Montreal Canadiens 1.
The 1971 Mercury Meteor. Your money gets you more. Costs a little over $3, but well under $4.
Now that's a beautiful car, son.
Completely restyled for 1971. Clean flowing lines enhanced by a handsome new grille. Meteor rides smooth and handles traffic like it's part of you.
A lot of room in here, Mike. Nice.
With a husky but economical V8 standard and even the lowest price model. And so is this new upper-level power ventilation system which keeps the air fresh.
That's a great idea.
Strong steel guardrails built into each door and smartly styled interiors designed to keep all outside noise to a minimum.
What'd you pay, $4,500?
The 1971 Mercury Meteor.
If you plan to pay between $3,000 and $4,000 for a new car, plan to see Mercury Meteor. Your money gets you more.
For a car this good, that's fantastic.
It's getting better all the time. It's
The last time Harry Sinden was in the Montreal Forum, he was coaching the Boston Bruins. Now he's with us as the analyst for tonight's game. Harry, first of all, bring the fans up to date on where you're living these days and what you're doing.
I'm just living south of Rochester, New York, about 15 miles. I'm working for a company called Sterling Homex, which is involved in the manufacturing in a factory of houses.
And you have nothing whatsoever to do in a business way with the game of hockey. Is that right?
I'm there, but I have nothing to do in a business way. Right?
Harry, how many times have you seen National League play this year, and how many times have you seen the Bruins?
Well, this is my second time watching the Bruins. I saw the game in Buffalo on Thursday night. I've been over to Buffalo to watch 3 or 4 games of the Sabres team play. I guess it's my 4th game tonight.
And what's your opinion of this hockey game, both teams?
I think it's a well-played first period. Excellent. Both teams played excellent positional hockey, some good passing plays. It wasn't a wide-open period, but it was a good, solid period of hockey. No foolish penalties. Very well played.
The Bruins got off to the 1-0 lead on this play, and you see that puck bounce off the linesman, and then it ends up in front of the net with everybody.
You see here, one of the things that makes Phil Esposito the leading scorer for the last 2 or 3 years. He shows you 2 things, I think. Complete patience once he gets the puck. Most players get a little excited in front of the net, and that famous pivot of his. We'll see it here. Cashman gets the goal after Esposito jabs a puck in. Puck comes out, Savard goes by it. Now watch Esposito pivot here. That has got him a lot of points. Now he jabs it with the point of his stick. Eventually it rolled out to Cashman, cruising around. I think Cashman was coming back, ready to come back on his wing if the play had not materialized, which was good thinking on his part. But really, I think that indicated or you may be able to see there just what Esposito can do so many times in front of the goal. He's got that patience. Most players, I say, get so excited, get excited quickly, and blow good chances in front of the net. Not Phil. He's got some time in there.
Harry, now that you're not coaching the Bruins, how about a little secret? Now, if you were coaching against the Boston Bruins, what would you do to stop Bobby Orr from an offensive standpoint?
You know, I've thought about that myself, and I usually had a nightmare thinking I'd have to coach against him. I really don't know. He could probably cope with anything that you came up with. He just has too much going for him. I don't think there's really any way that you could nullify him out on the ice. I think perhaps you could try and contain him in his own end a little bit. Davey Keon does it fairly well for Toronto. Once in a while, Henri Richard can do it for Montreal, but not too often.
Harry, thanks very much. We'll check with you again during our second intermission. The teams are returning to the ice right now for the start of the second period, but at this particular point, I would like to have a word on behalf of the Canadian Mental Health Association, and I'd like to invite you to join the Christmas gift campaign for the mental patient. Share your Christmas joy. Send a gift to the Canadian Mental Health Association, care of the local branch of your community, or 264 St. Louis Square in Montreal.
And with the second period upcoming, the scoreboard shows Boston 2, Montreal 1. In that period, we had a total of 3 penalties. Harper and Mahovlich of Montreal and Esposito of Boston. He went out along with Mahovlich. Lemaire centering for Ferguson and LaRose for Montreal. Esposito with Cashman and Hodge. Bobby Orr on defense with Dallas Smith. And it's Savard and Harper. Now Dallas Smith, a pass to Hodge, a long, weak shot to the corner. Bouncing in there is Cashman. Back to Dallas Smith, a weak shot. And Savard ahead for Ferguson. Ferguson being watched by Orr. Ferguson turning on the board, trying to center it. Hodge has it. On the left side, it's Esposito, but Harper breaks it up. Now then, Dallas Smith in over the line. Cashman has it. His shot is blocked by Harper. Lemaire gathering speed for Montreal with Ferguson. Lemaire over the line, working right in there. He's bouncing there, and they hold it out right on the goal line, I think, Dick.
Well, it must be, Danny, because at least as of now, no light on. Everybody very, very careful here when they unpile the pile. Let's watch it again as Jacques Lemaire makes a great move on Bobby Orr. Right here. Moves in, does not quite get a chance for a clear shot. Esposito does a good job of hooking him from behind to hold him up on the play. There's the bouncing puck, high, then down into the crease. You notice Claude Ruel at the bottom of your screen. He thought it was in, but it's not in, and the faceoff goes to the corner to the left of Eddie Johnston.
And a penalty coming up to Esposito, likely for hooking.
L'attribution du Boston au numéro 7, Phil Esposito, 2 minutes for hooking at 41 seconds.
Esposito off for hooking after 41 seconds, and coach Alistair MacNeil sending out on the power play Ferguson, Mahavlich, J.C. Tremblay, Lapointe, and Jacques Lemaire is not decided in his own mind whether or not MacNeil wants him out there. He doesn't, and it's LaRose who comes out. For Boston, Sanderson, Westfall, Orr, and Dallas Smith. A false start. And they line up again for the face-off to the left of Eddie Johnston. And the face-off. Orr clearing it to the far side for Westfall. He can't get it out over the line. Orr takes over. Orr shoots it down the ice. New York Rangers are now leading Toronto 1-0 early in the second period. J.C. Tremblay getting the power play organized. It goes to Mahavlich. He swings away from Sanderson. A back pass to the right wing, and Dallas Smith has it. Smith with Mahavlich after him, and Tremblay again with it for Montreal. Ferguson over on the far wing. It goes to Mahavlich through center. Mahavlich winds up for the shot, kicked out beautifully by Johnston. Orr can't get away the first time, and now Orr takes his time and flipped it off the boards, over the boards. And that was a great one-handed catch there on the fly, Dick, by that man behind the Boston bench.
Esposito offering his opinion from the penalty box as to where the faceoff should be. The Canadians claim inside the blue line, but it looks as though we're going to have it outside the blue line.
1 minute and 4 seconds left in the penalty, and again Orr cleared it over the boards, right to the Boston bench this time. The largest pro crowd at the Forum, 18,304. That was against Boston, March the 29th, 1969. And there's some speculation that we might have a bigger crowd than that tonight. Now it's Orr against Tardif. Westfall shooting it down the ice, and the Canadians go back after it. It's Tardif and Redmond and Lemaire, the forward line for Canadians now. J.C. Tremblay. It finally goes to Redmond. Redmond over the line. Lemaire right in front. A backhand shot by Tardif. And Eddie Johnston covered up on that. And Lemaire got that one over quickly to Tardif on the backhand. He let it go, and Johnston blocked it.
Ed Johnston has made some excellent saves here tonight, and here's another one as the Canadians get a break on the bounce off the Boston player. It goes to Redmond, and suddenly it's 2-on-1 with Tardif in behind the Bruin defense, but he does not get a clear shot on the backhand. Johnston makes a good sliding save.
In the face-off, Lemaire getting it. Lemaire over to J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay going in. Redmond right in front. He took it. They score! Tardif!
So Mark Tardif finally cashes in after coming very close just a moment ago. Tremblay takes his time and threads the needle, but it bounces off the stick of Orr to the side of the net, and then with Johnston out of position as he tried to stop the shot from the corner of the net by Redmond. Tardif scores, and it's a 2-2 hockey game.
Mickey Redmond, et numéro 3, Jean-Claude Tremblay. À 2 minutes 13 secondes. Canadiens goal scored by number 11, Marc Tardif, assisted by number 24, Mickey Redmond, and number 3, Jean-Claude Tremblay. At 2 minutes 13 seconds.
2:13, the time of the goal. Savard coming out against McKenzie. Here's Busey back for Boston. Knocked off his stick by Harper. Stanfield moving in. Stanfield fails to center it. Collins for Montreal. He and McKenzie go to the ice. Now there's Rejaoul over the line, into the corner. Savard against Green. And it's over the glass.
Johnny McKenzie shaken up on that exchange.
Put a little kick in your life with new Ford Pinto, the roomy little car with the very little price. See your Ford dealer.
Tardif from Redmond and Tremblay. 2:13. And we've played 2 minutes and 49 seconds in this period. It goes to Harper. He winds up with a shot. Blocked. Now Green. Collins after him. It goes to Stanfield. Stanfield trying to get some skating room. Richard watching him. Now a pass to Green. Carlton on for Boston. Green knocking it into the corner, and it's called on the offside.
This is Teddy Green's first appearance here in the Montreal Forum since his remarkable comeback, really. He's been playing pretty good hockey. He threw a pass up there in that first period that was right on the money from his own blue line to the Canadiens line.
Here's Richard racing after it. Johnson out of the net. And Rick Smith knocked it to center. Harper to Rejaoul. Busick inadvertently put it on Richard's stick. Richard with Stanfield after him. Busick blocking it again. Stanfield going to the far wing. Here's Rick Smith, who has really come into his own as a Boston defenseman this year. He cleared it into the corner. Savard plays it to the far side. Busick getting it back. Grabbed off by Collins with Richard, who has it over the line. Back to Rejaoul. He missed it. Busick wheels back for Boston. Busick at the line. A pass to Stanfield. There's a shot off the stick. It's loose on the boards. Harper races to the right side. Harper with Richard away over on that left wing. Here's Harper. Around the net, getting set to center it. He does, blocked by Busick. Busick got away from Collins. Carlton has it with Esposito coming up on the play. Savard got his stick on that high pass. Richard rolls it down into Boston territory. Green against Collins. Ferguson now on the ice for Montreal along with Tremblay. Now Rick Smith coming down on the line, over the line. J.C. Tremblay takes over. Played it to the far left wing. Dallas Smith with it. Score tied, 2-2. LaRose working nicely through center. A pass for Ferguson, popping in on that left side. The shot blocked by Dallas Smith. Ferguson fails to get it in front. Bobby Orr just taking his time. Still has it. Left wing pass to Dallas Smith. Bill Muir kicking it off to J.C. Tremblay. LaRose handling that puck well tonight. Ahead to Lemaire. Lemaire down at the line. The shot. Ferguson picks it up at the line. Dallas Smith out over the line. Hodge is on the right side. He has it. Hodge shoots it. High and wide. Tremblay for Montreal. Working his way. Ahead it goes to LaRose. LaRose on the boards against Orr. And Esposito goes to the far side for Boston, ahead to Hodge. Hodge clearing it in. And now we have 14 minutes, 13 seconds left in this period. Tremblay hit Lemaire with it. Lemaire to John Ferguson. John Ferguson going in. A great grab there by Eddie Johnson on a hard shot by Ferguson.
Here's Pinto to put a little kick in your life. Pinto, the new little carefree car from Ford. Priced like a small economy import, but you'd never know to look at it. Pinto's built strong, and it's frisky, with a wider stance than the major imports. Put a little kick in your life with Pinto. A little better idea from Ford.
Face off to the left of Johnston.
And here's that replay of that tremendous drive by Ferguson, and that is a great stop by Johnston.
Mahavlich against Sanderson. Sanderson getting it to Don Orr. Off the boards, Westfall out over the line, ahead to Sanderson. Sanderson at the line. He's upended by Savard. There's going to be a penalty. Savard going off for upending Sanderson.
On the out-of-town scoreboard, Pittsburgh has taken a 2-0 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. Prentice from Bathgate at 5:59 of the second period, the second goal for the Penguins.
There it is.
Number 18, Serge Savard, 2 minutes for hooking at 6 minutes, 8 seconds.
6 minutes, 8 seconds into the second period. It's a hooking penalty against Savard. Esposito, McKenzie, Stanfield, Busick, and Orr. Orr winds up with a shot. He hits Phil Meir with it. Collins fails to clear it out. Here's Bobby Orr. Over it goes to Stanfield. Stanfield off the boards around the net. McKenzie clearing it for Busick. Trapped there by J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay, a fine move to get away from McKenzie. Collins down with Leon Rochefort. Rochefort breaking in against Orr. Rochefort on the boards against Orr. It hit the referee Hood, and it's Collins. Back to LaPointe, J.C. Tremblay for Collins. And again, the Canadians killing off big seconds, passing that puck back and forth. Now it's Orr getting it to McKenzie over the line. McKenzie jammed in on the boards by LaPointe after getting the shot away. Tremblay shoots it down the ice. 1 minute exactly now remaining in the penalty. And the score is tied 2-2. Esposito out over the line with Stanfield, Busick, and McKenzie. Esposito hitting the line. Offside against Boston. And there's the Honorable Robert Stanfield, leader of the opposition, with his daughter. Dick, you know her name.
Mr. Stanfield and his daughter, Judy. Danny, I thought the Maritimers should handle that one. I think he's there with Nova Scotia with Al MacNeil right in front of him.
Mm-hmm. And we have a Stanfield on the ice, too. There he is now, Stanfield, after J.C. Tremblay, who cleared it down the ice. And Bobby Orr, Rochefort, checking Orr. Orr trying to get out. Hodge has it. Swings the pass over for Esposito off his skate. Tremblay has it. And Canadians doing an excellent job killing off this penalty. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. Now Stanfield for the Bruins coming in on the left side. A pass over to Esposito going into Hodge. Ready in front. Who's back? A shot by Stanfield. And Meir made the save after J.C. Tremblay had checked Hodge, number 8.
Oh, boy, did that one go over the line, or didn't it go over the line as Phil Meir makes the save? And here it is now from the end zone camera. We might not get the angle on it here as that puck seemed to come very close to the line. Right there as Meir was pushed back into the net. And then on the turnaround shot, he managed to cover up on the play.
Savard getting set to come back on. 2 seconds remaining in the penalty. New York is still leading Toronto 1-0 well into the second period at the Gardens in Toronto. Teddy Green and Rick Smith in over the line. Back it goes to Rick Smith. Collins knocked knocked it away. He was going to race after it, but went over the boards. There are the scores. Detroit and St. Louis in the first, still no score. Pittsburgh 2-0 over Vancouver, and that's now in the second. Chicago and Minnesota in the first, no score. Phil Roberto clearing it ahead. Rick Smith handing it off to Green. Green's pass blocked by Tardif. And now Rick Smith back into his own zone. Coming out ahead on the left wing. Roberto again cleared it back, and the Canadiens race in. But Don Marcotte. A pass stopped by Savard. Here's Savard. And Tardif and Mahovlich are way offside. It goes to Harper. Harper on the right side. Shooting it in, and again it's a situation where you had a Canadian in there too quickly, that time Tardif.
Al MacNeil is only the fourth man to coach the Montreal Canadiens in the last 31 years. In that same period of time, the New York Rangers have had 11 coaches, the Chicago Blackhawks 10.
Now Green starting out for the Bruins. Shot by Roberto. It's recovered by Rick Smith. He cleared it off the boards. And Savard played it out. Stopped by Sanderson ahead. Harper got a stick on that pass intended for Marcotte. Now Harper handing it off to Tardif with Mahovlich. A pass to the line. Broken up. Sanderson wheels back on the right side with Marcotte. Sanderson getting set. Back to the point it comes. Rick Smith winds up for the shot, and Harper got in front of it. Phil Roberto with Tardif. Roberto over the line. Ahead for Tardif and Green. A fine defensive play that time for the Boston Bruins. Now Sanderson lost it to Mahovlich. Roberto a backhand shot. Marcotte clearing it on the boards for Westfall. Back to Marcotte. He ran into Harper and Roberto. Cleared it on the right side. Rick Smith knocked it to the wing. Harper ahead to Roberto with Régent Houle. Houle races in behind the net. Houle gets it. Back to the point of Harper. He failed to trap it. It's down the ice. And Canadian Savard back there for it. Both clubs are changing while the play goes on. Savard for Richard. Fails to click. Hodge faked a pass. Cleared it in. Richard comes up with it, turning with Ferguson. Richard over the line. Digging into the corner. Here's Richard getting set. Couldn't center it. Redmond does right out in front. Ferguson couldn't get away from Orr to get it. Now it's Esposito for Boston. In it goes to Mir. J.C. Tremblay turning for the Canadiens. Out with Ferguson and Redmond. Redmond has it. Over the line. Offside on that pass to Richard.
Got something for you to see. It's the little car with the better ideas. The 1971 Mercury Comet. You can get a choice of 6s or a V8. There's a 2-door Comet, too. Nifty, isn't it? Hey, listen, better than looking here, see your Mercury dealer now. He'll let you have a real close look at Comet, without a hockey game to interrupt.
The face-off just outside the Bruins line. Hodge is passed, gobbled up by Lemaire. He shoots it to the corner, and that's Cashman in there. LaRose is number 15. LaRose pins him on the boards. Cashman tried to clear it against Ferguson. Lemaire feeds it back in there. Don Orry with Ferguson after him. Here's Orry for Boston. Hodge got away from LaRose. Hodge has a big booming shot. That one ricocheted off a stick. It wasn't too hard, but it gave Mir some problems. Guy Lapointe out on the left side. And Dallas Smith takes over. Don Orry ahead to Cashman. Cashman down at the line. And Lemaire knocked it to center. Orry for Dallas Smith. Here's Cashman taking it off the boards, trying to center it. Lemaire takes over for Montreal at the point. Orr feeds it back in there for Boston. Cashman against Ferguson. Now Dallas Smith. Lemaire has it. Lemaire at center. Goes to the Boston line. Over the line for LaRose, and Esposito comes up with it. Esposito for Hodge. Now then Hodge working in against three Canadians. Houle a point. And Lemaire, and there's going to be a penalty here to the Montreal Canadiens. Johnston is out of the net. Régin Houle, I think.
There are more better ideas on a 71 Ford Country Squire than ever before. The rear window washer. The three-way door gate. Lockable storage compartment. Dual-facing rear seats. Nobody flips, tilts, pops, nobody swings like Ford, the Wagon Master. Nobody.
Canadiens penalty number 14, Régin Houle, 2 minutes for hooking at 12 minutes, 22 seconds.
12:22, the time of the hooking penalty, and from the face-off, Esposito swings it back over the boards. For Boston, we have Esposito, Busick, McKenzie, Orr, and Stanfield. For Montreal, Collins, Rochefort, Tremblay, and Lapointe. Now it's McKenzie behind the net to Busick. Here's Busick getting set, working in the corner. Busick gets it back to Stanfield. Stanfield to Busick. Over it goes for Esposito, and Rochefort backhands it down the ice. Rochefort skating against Stanfield. Esposito turning with McKenzie. Busick, Orr, and Stanfield. Esposito over the line. J.C. Tremblay to Collins out on the right side for Rochefort against Bobby Orr. There's the shot, a whistling drive, just wide. Rochefort was one of the stars in the game against St. Louis on Thursday, playing regularly again tonight. He's been quite effective. Stanfield shooting at the big rebound, and Muir covers up.
Next Saturday night, 3 games will come your way via Hockey Night in Canada. In British Columbia only, the California Seals and the Canucks at 5 p.m. In Quebec only, the Canadiens and the Los Angeles Kings. And for the rest of the country, it will be the Chicago Blackhawks and the Maple Leafs from Toronto.
1 minute and 3 seconds left in the penalty. A false start again. And Collins ready to do the honors against Esposito with Orr and Stanfield in over the line. Esposito has shot right on, blocked. Here's Collins with it. Collins coming down on the wing. Over the line. Back it goes to Tremblay. And Guy Lapointe. Now Lapointe going to the line. The shot and the rebound with Stanfield picking it up for Boston. 35 seconds left in the penalty. Orr coming out. Fake the shot. Goes to the line. Still has it. And it's offside as Rochefort and Esposito went sprawling up the line. Seconds left in Régin Houle's penalty. The score is tied 2-2. Orr to Stanfield. Stanfield ahead to Cashman over the line. Tremblay hooked it away. Rochefort knocked it down the ice. Scoring in the game for Boston, Cashman and Sanderson, J.C. Tremblay and Tardif for Montreal. Orr ahead to Stanfield, out with a Hodge, Cashman and Sanderson. Stanfield works his way to the corner. Back to Bobby Orr. Orr clearing it to the far side. Régin Houle is back on. Cashman in for Hodge. Hodge Sanderson takes the shot now, and he was just wide from the sharp angle. Here's Sanderson off his stick. Sanderson rolls it in, and Hodge had not got out of Canadian territory.
Our special intermission film feature has Bobby Orr as its subject during our next intermission, and Brian McFarland will be chatting with the Bruins' young superstar. Harry Sinden will analyze the second period of play, and these features will be brought to you in part by Ford and their Mercury and Ford dealers across Canada.
Havlich, Tardif, and Phil Roberto. Westfall, Sanderson, and Don Marcotte. Now Westfall has it. Back it goes near the line. Green working, giving the point. Gives it to Westfall over to Green going in. He shoots a big save there by Phil Meir. Westfall and Green passed it back and forth beautifully. The quick shot, and Phil Meir had to come up with a big save.
Fine play by those two Bruins. Green to Westfall and back again. Good wrist shot by Ted Green. Meir gets a piece of it and then falls on that rebound right there at the side of the crease.
Sanderson upended by Mahovlich. Tardif or Harper. Harper coming on the right side. Failed to clear it out against Marcotte. Now Savard played it on the boards. Roberto, a pass for Tardif. He couldn't come up with it. Goes after it. Taken out of the play by Green. Now here's Mahovlich. Big Mahovlich with it. Turning to the point. Savard winds up for the shot. Green stopped it. Tardif still with it. Here's Mahovlich. Mahovlich trying to work against Green in the corner. Mahovlich still has it. Bouncing puck in front of the net, and it's cleared off to the wing, and Sanderson has it. Sanderson shooting it down into Canadian territory with Savard back for it. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in this period. Savard giving it and then getting it back. It was a fake give to Mahovlich. The pass, Roberto missed it. Green ahead on the left side. Here's Harper playing it ahead for Réjean Houle. Going in with Harper. A pass for Harper. He's checked by Smith. Roberto getting set for the shot. Marcotte has it. There it is into the crease. Marcotte blocked that first shot, and then standing at the side, Roberto, and Johnston had to make a save.
The new Mercury Meteor is scoring so well in sales this year, I'd suggest you get on its team right now. Mercury Meteor. See why everyone loves a winner.
Lemaire, Ferguson, and LaRose. Esposito, Hodge, and Cashman. Lapointe and J.C. Tremblay playing up for the Canadiens on the face-off. There's LaRose centering it across the goal mouth. Hodge getting away from Ferguson. Out over the line to Cashman. Back to Esposito. Hodge shooting it. And there's the souvenir for a fan down there in the ringside seats in the corner. And here in Montreal, we have the first real winter-like weekend of the season. There's a sizable amount of snow on the ground, and light snow is predicted for tonight. Temperature going down to 15 above. Ferguson jostling with Hodge. The mayor couldn't get by on the left side. Esposito clearing it in. Cashman is after LaRose. They go to the corner. Cashman getting it loose. Ferguson has it. Starting out for Montreal. Hodge gave them on the play. Dallas Smith to Don Orr. Ahead it goes to Cashman. There's the shot with the Hodge offside on the right wing.
The Bruins did not win a game in Montreal last season, losing 9-2 and 6-3 and tying 2-2 and 3-3. In Boston, in games between these clubs, the Bruins won 2, lost 1, and one game was tied last year. And as Danny mentioned, the Bruins won the opener 6-1 in Boston a few weeks ago.
Don Orr. Dallas Smith working in on the right side. Ferguson checking him, and Lemaire got it out to center. Don Orr scooping it in again. A goal here would probably open it up a bit. Now Hodge broke it up, and finally it's Dallas Smith to Don Orr. Ahead to Cashman, down on the wing. Cashman over the line, going in finally. He went to the ice before he could catch up with the puck. Here's Guy Lapointe with LaRose on the right side. LaRose has it, passes it back. Off the boards it goes. Hodge checking Ferguson. Now it's Esposito. Ahead to Cashman. He winds up for the shot, and Tremblay blocked it. LaRose trying to get away from Esposito. Tremblay shoved by Cashman, and they get the face-off in Canadian territory.
In that last rush by the Canadiens, the Bruins did a great job of coming back, especially Hodge on John Ferguson.
Kenny Hodge having one of these great years, both ways, particularly this year. He was born in Birmingham, England, and checking well, but scoring well. He has 31 points. Now there's going to be a penalty here. Richard going off for clutching Busick, and Busick went to the ice.
Here it is on the replay. Busick with that pucker trying to get it away, and there's Richard looking like a defensive halfback, grabbing a pass catcher along the sidelines.
Canadiens penalty number 16, Henri Richard. 2 minutes for holding at 17 minutes, 58 seconds.
17:58, the time of the holding penalty against Richard. Now it's back to Bobby Orr. Orr off the boards to McKenzie. Here's McKenzie. Back to Orr. McKenzie has it again. Right in front to Esposito. He shoots. He scores! Esposito picking up the rebound.
And that didn't take the Bruins long. 11 seconds after the penalty to Richard. Phil Esposito. Harry Sinden was pointing out just how many moves he can make in front of the opposition net. And here we see another one as he hangs tough after Mir partially blocks his first drive. The puck rolls through. Mir reaches for it. Esposito one-hands it into the net just as he takes quite a shot from Guy Lapointe. And the Bruins have taken the lead 3-2.
Johnny McKenzie, et numéro 21, Don Marcotte. À 18 minutes, 9 secondes. Boston's goal scored by number 7, Phil Esposito, assisted by number 19, John McKenzie, and number 21, Don Marcotte, at 18 minutes, 9 seconds.
18-9, the time of the goal. Go-ahead goal for the Bruins. Here's Richard back from Montreal. The shot blocked. And now Savard waiting for Richard to get back on side. Savard over the line with Uhl, and it's called on the offside with 1:24 left. That scoring play for the Boston Bruins. Esposito is 19th of the year, and McKenzie and Marcotte assisting. You know, years ago, Dick, it used to be quite a feat to score 20 goals in a season. It's not even Christmas, and Esposito now has 19. Green trying to clear it out against Réjean Houle. There's Richard going in for Montreal. Richard fails to dump it against Green. And they're going to get a stoppage in play, Richard and Green.
Now, Henry Richard not feeling too good about things right now. He was in the penalty box for that last Bruin goal as Esposito made up for the time that he was in the penalty box when the Canadiens scored their second goal in the night.
And I see leaving his seat now over on that far side, a former Canadian great, Boom Boom Geoffrion, with Mrs. Geoffrion. Boomer looks fit, Dick. Dallas Smith shooting it into the corner. Mark Tardif. Now Don Marcotte centering it. Savard ahead on the left side. Mahovlich couldn't get it, and Dallas Smith slaps it back in. There are now 40 seconds left in the second period. A long left rink-wide pass. Down the ice it goes, and Canadians call for ice.
Bobby Orr instead of 21, Marcotte.
Danny, that assist means that Orr has now surpassed the consecutive point-scoring streak of last season. He's gained a point now in each of the Bruins' last 14 games.
Terry Harper in possession. Up on the left side to Tardif. Tardif back to Harper. Rochefort is on the right wing. Harper continues in there, and Sanderson balls it down the ice. And the Boston Bruins about to be called for icing, 15 seconds left.
Last season, Walt Kachuka, the Rangers, had the longest streak, scoring at least 1 point in 13 straight games. So tonight, Bobby Orr surpasses that with a point in his 14th straight.
Boston 3, Montreal 2. And Redmond coming on with Mahovlich and Tardif for this face-off in Bruin territory with Savard and Harper in over the Boston line. Mahovlich on the boards. Tied up by Don Orry. Redmond against Sanderson. Sanderson clearing it behind. Tardif is after it. Tardif getting set to center it. It's blocked. Now Dallas Smith has it, and the period is over. Boston 3, Montreal 2.
Shots on goal in the second period by Boston 10 and by the Canadiens 9. From the Forum in Montreal, hockey night in Canada.
The 1971 Ford LTD, one of the quietest Fords ever built. But to build a quiet car, you've got to build it strong. For example, we put strong steel guardrails behind the doors, like highway guardrails. Just how strong are they? Watch. We're going to lift the entire car more than 2 tons by the guardrails alone. Let's go. Steel guardrails. They're strong and durable, like the rest of the car, like our new body frame design, and our rugged suspension system. Take a quiet break in the 71 LTD or the new Galaxy. They're built strong to last longer. Ford gives you better ideas.
A youngster with hockey equipment and a dream of becoming a big league star. That is typical of Canada. But in the case of the youngster you're watching on this film, it became a reality, perhaps even beyond his own fondest dreams. This is Bobby Orr, destined to star in the Boston Garden as a member of the Bruins in the National Hockey League, following a fantastic career as a junior player, which began when he was just 14 years of age. Bobby rewrote the OHA record book for defensemen as he performed with the Oshawa Generals. In 1966, at the age of 18, he joined the Bruins, and from hhis first game in the NHL, has been one of big league hockey's most talked about performances. In that first year, he won the Calder Trophy as the league's outstanding rookie, and 2 seasons ago established an all-time scoring record for defensemen with 21 goals in a single season. But that record was only an omen of things to come in the 1969-70 season. In slow motion, this is the play on which Bobby Orr earned an assist for the 51st time last season, breaking the NHL record for defensemen. On the play, the goal was scored by the Bruins' number 7, Phil Esposito. Orr and Esposito are 2 of the 4 players who have surpassed the 100-point mark in a single year, the others being Gordie Howe and Bobby Hull. The fact that Orr, at 22 years of age and a defenseman, is in this illustrious group is perhaps the best indication of all of his remarkable talents. This moment provided Bobby Orr with just one of the 4 National Hockey League individual records he established on his way to the most sensational season one player has ever enjoyed in the history of the game. His end-of-season totals, 33 goals, 87 assists, 120 points, and the first scoring championship ever won by a defenseman. The wonderful hockey talents of Bobby Orr have earned him countless honors. His Calder Trophy win as a rookie has been followed by 3 straight Norris Trophy selections as the league's top defenseman, 3 straight unanimous picks to the first All-Star team, and last season, not only the Art Ross Scoring Trophy, but the highest individual honor, the Hart Trophy, as the most valuable player to his team. But even then, he wasn't finished. On the 10th of May, the season of Bobby Orr was ended by Bobby Orr as he scored against Glen Hall after 40 seconds of overtime, giving the Boston Bruins their first Stanley Cup victory in 29 years. And to climax his season, Orr was named winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the outstanding performer in the playoffs.
Well,
Bobby, those photos and films must bring back a lot of fond memories.
Just great. It's really great to see them. They're big thrills there.
They stole a couple of your trophies, though, the Stanley Cup and the Conn Smythe trophy.
I heard that when I came in the dressing room tonight. It's too bad. I hope they get them back.
Listen, that was a great goal by Esposito there in the second period.
That was typical of Phil. Great second effort. He's got that long reach, and two guys had him tied up, and they still went for it, and he got knocked on his can. It was a great second effort.
I think it's been a great game, too. The fans are certainly enjoying every minute.
It's an exciting game. It's an exciting game tonight, yes.
Listen, let's talk coaching for just a moment. There's been a change in Boston. Now, how does the approach to the game of Tom Johnson differ from Harry Sinden?
I don't think they differ at all. Harry was with Boston for 4 years, and Tommy was there. I think they came out at the same time, or Tommy may have been there a year or two earlier. I'm sure that Coach got to have someone to talk to, and Tommy, Harry realized Tommy was a great hockey man, was a great hockey player, and knows his hockey, and I'm sure they talked, and I think their styles are very similar.
No real change. When are you going to grow a mustache like your teammate?
I haven't even shaved yet.
You know, I was asking Harry Sinden before the game, Bobby. I said, is there anything I could ask Bobby that may be a little bit different? He said, ask him how come he learned so much in such a short time playing for me.
Well, Harry was a great coach.
In fact, he said, I think I taught him everything he knows.
That's right. Harry did teach me a lot, and he was just a great coach. We're all sorry to see him go, but I think we have a guy now that's filling his shoes pretty good, although we're doing this Harry and wish he was around.
Well, it's quite obvious from the way your club is playing. There's great feeling out there and great depth on the hockey.
Guys are playing real well. Every night we're getting the goals from a different line, and our goaltenders are alternating our goaltenders, and whichever goaltender's playing, he's playing great, as you can see tonight with Eddie Johnson.
Now, you have your own philosophy about coaching because you've written a book on the subject. In other words, you're teaching youngsters all summer, and you put it in print form. What do you try to stress?
Well, I don't say I would make a good coach. I don't think I'd want to be a coach. It's quite a tough job. But I just finished a book. It's a book on how I play hockey, not necessarily the right way. I'm told I don't.
Orr On Ice?
Orr On Ice, right. And I'm told I don't play the game properly, or a lot of parts of the game properly. But that's the way I play hockey, and I'm trying to show it by using pictures. We thought it would be easier, and we were aiming the book at kids, and I hope the kids that read it get something out of it.
You stress all the fundamentals. Do you also stress the fun aspect of it?
Oh, yes. We have, like I said, we did the fundamental skating, shooting, passing, stick handling, and so on, checking, and a little bit of off-season, a few action shots, home life, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Bobby, there seem to be some great rookies in the league this year. Who are the ones that have caught your eye so far?
Well, I played against Gilbert Perreault the other night in Buffalo, and I'm telling you, he's some hockey player. It's the first time I'd seen him play, and he impressed me. He's a big, strong boy and got some great moves. And Polis Greg Polis in Pittsburgh.
How about this fellow, Guy Lapointe?
Not too bad. He's coming to Montreal. He's a great hockey player. He's got a great shot, and they have 3 or 4 real good rookies up there in Montreal.
Bobby, always great talking with you. Bobby Orr of the Boston Bruins, thanks for being with us. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
This is Ford's Maverick, the simple machine. Simple to own, drive, and service. And this is one of the strongest, quietest Fords ever built, the 1971 Ford LTD. But small cars aren't big enough for some people, and others don't need a large car. So Ford has something in between that's just right. Torino. If you like small car prices and the sportier way small cars handle, but you don't want to give up the smoother ride of a big car or room for 6, remember, Ford's got the right-sized, right-priced car for you, Torino. And you can take your choice of sedans, wagons, sports roofs, hardtops, even a convertible. When you want some of the things from a small car and some of the things from a big car, you want something in between that's just right. Torino. Right size, right price. More and more people think Torino's just right. See your Ford dealer. Ford gives you better ideas.
Weatherguard belted snow tires for safe winter driving at your Esso dealer.
At the end of 2 periods here at the Forum in Montreal, the Boston Bruins are leading the Montreal Canadiens by a score of 3-2. Cashman, Sanderson, and Esposito scoring for Boston, and for Montreal, J.C. Tremblay and Tardif. Again in the second period, Boston outshot Montreal. Again a narrow margin. It was 13-12 in the first, 10-9 in the second. Over 2 periods, Boston 23, Montreal 21. At the end of 2 periods in Toronto, New York won. Toronto no score. Stemkowski scoring for New York. St. Louis leading Detroit in the first period 1-0 and a goal by Lawrence. And in Pittsburgh leading Vancouver 2-0 in the second period. Blackburn and Prentice have scored for Pittsburgh. In Minnesota in the first period, Minnesota 1, Chicago 0. Goldsworthy has scored for Minnesota. Philadelphia at Los Angeles will start at 11 o'clock. On CBC Radio tomorrow night, the game Toronto at Chicago. And the score here at the Forum of Montreal at the end of 2 periods, Boston 3, Montreal 2.
Well, it's unfortunate, Holmes. His lordship feels that his daughter is just a little bonkers.
An assumption based on her wardrobe, no doubt?
Sure, Holmes, sure. In the West Wing, her ladyship appears in the most stylish mini costume. Elsewhere in the house, Maxie, Minnie, Maxie, Minnie, Maxie.
Watson, this Mini Maxi mix-up is caused by outmoded heating. His lordship needs advice from a heating expert.
But Holmes, who is this man?
An SO home comfort expert. He can size up a whole house and tell exactly which one of the 28 SO furnaces will give you comfort, with all the economy that oil is famous for.
So experts, and so experienced, and so guaranteed furnaces. Very comforting. I say, Holmes, that's marvelous.
When you have a furnace problem, call Esso.
We're very happy to have Harry Sinden with us tonight as our analyst. And Harry, a lot of people thought there might be some physical revenge between these teams after that brawl in Boston a few weeks ago. That usually doesn't work out, does it?
No, you're right. Actually, tonight's game is everybody's sticking to hockey. It's not a real physical game. It's well played, both periods. I've enjoyed it. They've been up and down their wings, passing the puck well, and great show.
I've been impressed with Eddie Johnston in the Bruin net. Bobby Orr mentioned him just a moment ago. He's played a pretty good hockey game.
I saw Eddie in Buffalo the other night and tonight again, and he's as quick as I've seen him the last couple of years. He's really moving quickly, and he's a fine goaltender. I'm impressed, too.
Those two fellows that the Bruins have, Johnson and Cheevers, certainly don't seem to mind this alternating business. They must have the right attitude in a case like this.
Right, they do, and they're extremely good friends off the ice as well, and they really cheer each other along, and it works out good, right.
Harry, we're going to have some highlights coming up now from that second period, and this first one is something you don't see too often, but a great play by Jacques Lemaire as he beats Bobby Orr right here with the move, and then Johnston makes the stop. A good play, especially by Jacques Lemaire.
Yeah, he pulls the puck in tight. You watch, if we show it on slow motion here, coming out. Watch him pull the puck to his right in tight, and that's where he beats him, right there. Esposito with a little stick check where he should probably be playing the man, allowed him to get in and get that high shot off.
And Johnson got a piece of it. It bounced.
Yeah, I guess he did. I guess he got a piece of it and deflected it high. Right, bounced under him.
The two highlights we have coming up, Harry was watching them a little earlier, and he points out a great similarity between them. The one is the Canadiens' goal, and then the following goal by Esposito. And here, Harry, I think, just as you were mentioning, the importance of positional hockey.
Right. One and it results in a direct play because of the position. See Redmond tucked on the right-hand side of the net, right in a position that's just a bit too far back in for the defenseman to get him, and yet he's still in an excellent position to make a play on goal. Now you watch as this play comes up, and you'll see Mickey Redmond station himself just off to the right-hand side of the Boston goal. Pass goes into him. You see where he is? A little far in for the defenseman. Shovel pass out in front, and nothing for Tardif to do but shoot it in. Busic's goal, which I hope we see, or at least Esposito's go-ahead goal, points out the same thing with Busic in fine position, and J.C. Tremblay has to go out to make a play on Esposito, but he can't go too far because he knows Busic's in perfect position on the corner of the net, and I think it was one of the reasons the goal was scored.
Harry, did the Bruins, when you were coaching, practice the power play very much?
Yes, we did. We developed a good power play, and one of the important things on a power play is patience again, and not getting too anxious, not getting too excited. Here's this goal coming up. I think you see Busick stationed out. See him to the left, which keeps Tremblay controlled. It stops Tremblay from getting out to Esposito too quickly and allows Phil to get the shot off. Old Philly takes a pretty good shot from Mahavlich after he scores this goal, doesn't he? He shaked that one out in the dressing room.
One thing about Esposito, he's got to be so strong in front of that net, and this is a perfect example of it. Something like Beliveau is for
See Busick there? Jabs it in now, right. Phil stays with the puck all the time in front of there. He takes a pretty good shot. I think that's Mahavlich or Savard, you know. He'll talk about that tonight going home.
Harry, you're sitting with Toe Blake down there, a couple of ex-NHL coaches. How do you now watch a hockey game now that you're not behind the bench? you still kind of watching it as
I have to sit still anyway. I like to get up and pace up and down out there, but it's kind of tough to watch it this year.
Harry, how did you feel the other night in Buffalo, the first night you saw the Boston Bruins and you weren't the coach?
Well, I think I was as up for the game as I ever was as a coach, really. I was really excited about the game and a little nostalgic of it.
I'm sure you were. Harry, thanks very much. We'll check with you again at the end of the hockey game. The team's back out onto the ice. Here again, Danny Gallup.
The team's back on the ice for the start of the third period with the Bruins having a one-goal margin, the 3-2. LaPerriere, by the way, Dick, I don't know whether you mentioned or not, but Red Fisher in his write-up today seemed to have a story that is not too promising as far as the Canadiens are concerned. That LaPerriere may be out for some considerable time yet.
It's a strange kind of a nervous ailment, which the doctors have told him can clear up in 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years. They don't know. The whole thing now is just to wait. On the medical side as well with the Canadiens, Jean Beliveau, who has been in hospital for the past 10 days, left hospital today. He will take it easy at home for the next few days with this blood circulation problem in his leg. They hope he can begin skating toward the middle of next week.
Lemaire, Ferguson, and LaRose for Montreal. For Boston, Esposito, Hodge, and Cashman, and Dallas Smith has it. Don Orr feeds it to Esposito. Dallas Smith working up on the right side, shot it off Ferguson, and the Bruins race in with Harper taking over. Harper ahead of Jacques Lemaire. Lemaire with LaRose down on the right side. LaRose had that pass intended for him, and Don Orr cleared it over the boards. You know, the Boston Bruins, I think it's the consensus, are the most magnetic team in hockey today. The defending Stanley Cup champions, they're big and colorful, exciting, with tremendous explosive power. And, of course, they have Bobby Orr. As Dean Carroll of the Montreal Gazette put it today, they excite people. And that's reflected in this terrific crowd here tonight. We'll try to get you the attendance as soon as it's available. Now Dallas Smith hits the Montreal line on the right side, cutting in, shooting, slapped at it, and Phil Muir covered up.
Good rush by the Boston defenseman, Dallas Smith, as he swings around Serge Savard. But Muir has the angle blocked off on that short side.
Dallas Smith and Don Orr up on the line for the face-off. LaRose clearing it over the boards as he tried to work away on the right wing. Next game here at the Forum will be 1 week from tonight. And Minnesota will be in to play the Montreal Canadiens. $18,784. That is the largest crowd ever to see the Canadiens play here at the Forum. There's a long shot, the rebound. Savard taking over. Now Savard down on the left side. The shot off the glass. LaRose overskated it. And Cashman comes up with it. A pass off Savard's stick, and it's over the Bruins bench. I think the juniors, Dick, for one game at 18,800 plus.
And I think that still rates as the largest crowd ever to see a hockey game anywhere in Canada.
18,838. It was Oshawa and the Junior Canadiens, 23rd of February, 1969. Now Rick Smith with Stanfield over the line. Smith into the corner. J.C. Tremblay watching him. McKenzie and Réjean started to get sticks up on each other. Richard failed to clear it out. Lapointe playing it for Richard. And now Tremblay comes up with it. Boston Bruins 3, Montreal Canadiens 2. Stanfield to McKenzie. A pass to the left wing. Busey shoots it in. And the stratagem for the Bruins early in this third period is this, that they shoot it in and get in there and try to tie up the Canadiens before they can get organized. Now it's Stanfield ahead to McKenzie. McKenzie is over the line. Rolls it in. Here's Stanfield getting set to center it. It's off a stick. McKenzie knocked it down. The shot, it's wide. Busick. He lost it to Lapointe, who broke his stick apparently. And they tie it up for a face-off in Canadian territory.
This is the engine cleaner additive we blend into both SO and SO Extra gasolines to help maintain better overall engine performance.
Lapointe gets a new stick. Stanfield and Richard on the draw. McKenzie has it. Back it comes to the line. Smith over for Green. Green off the right wing boards. Guy Lapointe with Redmond now on the right side. Coming down to center. A nice play to get away from Stanfield. Redmond is over the line. Back it goes to Richard. A shot. Headed for the top left-hand corner. And Eddie Johnston, who's been sharp tonight, picked that one off beautifully.
And you'd almost have to think that from his reaction, Johnston saw it just at the last split second as it got to the net. Watch it here on this replay. Bingo, right there. Johnston makes the save.
Eddie Johnston, native of Montreal. He was 35, the number 23rd class. And the Bruins, the players, and the officials of the club will tell you this is his best year so far in the National Hockey League. Dallas Smith lost it. Here's Tardif. Tardif clearing it back behind the net. Rochefort going after Don Orr. Rochefort upended by Orr. Tardif jamming the Boston defenseman in on the boards.
I was thinking Ralph Baxter making that one appearance on the ice tonight and getting an assist. Is there anybody left who retired who hasn't unretired in the National Hockey League?
I think he's no, George Armstrong is back. I think they're all back. Teddy Taylor has returned to Vancouver. Now Don Orr clearing it to the point. Mahovlich feeding it back. And it's Orr again. Canadians trying to keep it in. Savard fails to hold it in at the point. Savard, a pass for Rochefort. Going down with Mahovlich. Orr broke it up, and there's a whistle to the offside at the Bruins blue line. 3 minutes and 22 seconds have gone by in the third period. Orr clearing it ahead. Harper, a pass for Mahovlich. Mahovlich goes to the line, working in on the left side. And Dallas Smith comes up with it off the boards. Don Marcotte tied up by Harper. Mahovlich rolls it back in. Now Mahovlich going into the corner against Orr. Mahovlich lost it to Marcotte with Sanderson and Eddie Westfall. Westfall has it on the right side, and his shot blocked by Savard. Rochefort coming out. A pass off Tardif. Now Tardif gets it going in across the line. Tardif dropping it back. And Sanderson ahead for Marcotte. Westfall has it. Westfall shot it against Savard again. And a Harper starting out. Bruins keeping it in. Mahovlich. A pass to the right side. Rochefort to the line and shot it off Orr. Out of play.
There's Dallas Smith and playing alongside Bobby Orr. A lot of those Bruin defensemen that don't get the credit they perhaps.
Away, away, can you come away? Will you come today and
performance with Esso Extra and Esso Regular. Now both with the engine cleaner to take you and your car into the clean world of performance.
It's a brand new world, and it's here for you. So come on, let's take to the road and do what we want to do. It's a brand new world.
And there's the shot of Alistair Wences MacNeil. 35-year-old new coach of the Montreal Canadiens. He's been around, Dick. Toronto, Rochester, Hull, Ottawa, Montreal Canadiens, Chicago, New York, Pittsburgh, Houston, and Montreal Voyageurs. Guy Lapointe shooting it in. Cashman, number 12. He missed it. Lemaire in for LaRose. Ferguson dashing. Trying to center it. Completely in front. And Teddy Green, playing a fine game tonight for Boston, was there. Ahead to Esposito, to Hodge on the right side, the shot. Now it's centered right in front. J.C. Tremblay clearing it back. Tremblay ahead to LaRose. His pass goes off Cashman. And Dick, I was just going to say, I've only seen Green play the one other game aside from this one in Boston on November the 8th. And I think he's playing a fine game here this evening. In the face-off, Lemaire cleared it to the wing. Green shooting it in. J.C. Tremblay for Guy Lapointe. Lapointe to LaRose. Here's LaRose. A pass through center to Lemaire. Lemaire going to the left side. Rick Smith put him under the play. Now Boston with Esposito. Cashman is coming up in the play. Here's Esposito. Around the net. Centers it, and Lemaire wheels back for Montreal with LaRose on the right side. Ferguson coming up. There's the shot. Blocked by Johnson. Ferguson trying to center it. Ferguson again sending it right out in front. And Green comes up with it. Headmanning the puck to Esposito. He couldn't make contact down the ice, and the Bruins are called for ice.
Bobby Orr has not made an appearance on the ice here in the third period. He has been bothered by a thigh injury here tonight. He suffered it in Buffalo. Tom Johnson was mentioning before the game that Orr's leg was giving him some trouble. He suffered the injury, Danny, along the boards, and then just a few minutes later, as luck would have it, happened to run into Mr. Eddie Shack, and that didn't help matters any. So Orr has not played here in this third period.
Pittsburgh now leading Vancouver with 3-0. Stanfield with the shot. And Phil Muir kicks it right into the crowd in the corner.
Andy Bathgate scoring that third goal for the Penguins from Rupp and Hextall. That's 103, and now we get the first semblance of disorder here, but only a very slight example of it down in the Canadiens' end. Harry Harper involved.
Back it goes. Don Ory the shot. A high and wide. Réjean cleared it to the line. Stanfield. Ory to Dallas Smith. Réjean clearing it ahead, and there's going to be a penalty. Dallas Smith going off for the Boston Bruins.
Dallas Smith gets this penalty while he himself is down on the ice. He's falling, and there he upends Richard in the process, and so he's in the penalty box now for 2 minutes. The Canadiens get a power play chance.
Boston's penalty, number 20, Dallas Smith. 2 minutes for tripping at 6 minutes, 12 seconds.
6 minutes and 12 seconds into the third period. Dallas Smith of the Bruins off for tripping. And Canadians with Mahovlich, Ferguson, Redmond, Guy Lapointe, and J.C. Tremblay. Sanderson, Westfall. No, it's Marcotte. There's a shot by Ferguson. Kicked out by Eddie Johnson. Westfall has Marcotte up front with him as penalty killer. Marcotte's long shot. He bounces into the corner, centers it. Now Ferguson. It's off his stick. Ferguson ahead to Mahovlich, down on the right side. Mahovlich over the line. Try to bring it in past Rick Smith. Couldn't. And it's Marcotte who returns it down into Canadian territory. 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the penalty. Mahavlich on the left side. Goes to center. Still with it. Over the line to Redmond. Redmond's pass off the leg. Green cleared it, but not out. Here's Redmond. Redmond getting set for a pass to J.C. Tremblay. Closing in for the shot. And it hit Green in front. Guy, the point shot. Now it's Redmond. Clearing it back in for Tremblay. Tremblay, a pass blocked there by Westfall. And he made a lunge to clear it into the center ice area. Guy Lapointe against Westfall. Here's Lapointe over the line. Passes to Lemaire. The shot kicked out brilliantly by Eddie Johnston. Here's Sanderson coming down. J.C. Tremblay after him. Sanderson trying to tie it up in the corner to get a whistle, and he did, and that was a great save by Eddie Johnston.
Fine stop. The Boston penalty killers this year have done an exceptional job. Up front, primarily Sanderson and Westfall. And going into tonight's game, they held the opposition scoreless 87% of the time. They had been shorthanded. The Canadiens managed one power play goal here tonight. That made it 16 as a total against the Bruins this year, but it's a great job. Great record.
35 seconds remain in the penalty to Dallas Smith. LaRose with Tardif. LaRose clearing it in, bouncing to the corner, staying with it. Passes it back, and Sanderson. Bobby Orr is back on the ice. Over for McKenzie. J.C. Tremblay feeds it ahead to Lapointe with LaRose and Tardif. Tardif going in on the left side against Orr. They fight for it on the boards. And the face-off to the right. Eddie Johnson, there's Bobby Orr and Tardif at very close quarters. McKenzie dropped his gloves. He moved in. And that net is going to take a beating. J.C. Tremblay and McKenzie.
Well, there's a scene which is describing it because you can see what's happening. Well, there goes Tremblay's helmet. He, I don't think, has ever been involved in a fight in his NHL career, and so far it's just the pulling stage. Tardif is still anxious to get at Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr will likely get arrest in the penalty box now, along with Tardif. Whether they will be minors or majors, we'll have to wait and see. Eight seconds left in Dallas Smith's penalty. Boston leading in the game 3-2 with 11:56 to play in the third period.
Pittsburgh, the Vancouver Canucks have scored. Boudreau scoring at the 3:50 mark of the third period. The Penguins lead that game 3-1. Dale Talon getting an assist.
The time of the penalties to Orr and Tardif, 8:04. We'll have the announcement in just a moment as to the magnitude of the penalties. McKenzie gets some jeers from the crowd as he went over to Bobby Orr in the penalty box and handed him his gloves. And there's McKenzie and Orr having the chat.
Bobby Orr, 5 minutes chacun pour s'être battu à 8 minutes 4 secondes. The penalties to Boston number 4, Bobby Orr, and to Canadiens number 11, Marc Tardif. 5 minutes each for fighting at 8 minutes 4 seconds.
Face off to the right of Johnston. The Bruins shorthanded. Not as a result of the majors, of course, because they are coincident. And it's Rick Smith wrapping it off the glass and among the spectators. And that brings the penalty time clock on Dallas Smith down to a point showing 3 seconds. It's still New York Rangers 1, Toronto Maple Leafs no score. Simkowski getting the only goal in that game, and they're now late into the third period. So Richard against Sanderson. Back to Terry Harper. There's the shot deflected just wide by Houle. Now Dallas Smith back on. He takes it at the line. Ahead to Westfall. Westfall going in on the right side. A weak shot. Harper to Montreal. He hits Régin Houle with it. He overskated it. Esposito with Westfall. Savard knocked it away, and Redmond starting down. Marcotte cleared it. Westfall back to Marcotte over the line with Esposito. Marcotte sliding it to the corner. And Savard ahead on the boards. Westfall stopped it. Ahead to Esposito. Esposito going in for the shot right on. But Meir had the ankles cut off on that one. Number 18's Westfall and Savard do some bumping. Cashman to the far side against Richard, who bumps him. Cashman getting it back. Here's Rick Smith winding up for the shot. It went off Savard into the corner. Esposito trying to center it. Let's see, can they get it clear? Richard has it on the boards to Régin Houle, to Richard. Right wing pass for Redmond going in on goal. Called on the outside.
And the Canadians don't like that very...
Whatever you drive, wherever you drive it, we've got the tires you need. Atlas tires from Esso.
10:38 left in the hockey game. Lemaire, LaRose, and Ferguson facing Esposito, Hodge, and Cashman. Dallas Smith hands it off to Don Orry. Cashman couldn't come up with it. Lemaire to Tremblay. Tremblay working his way out, goes to the left side. Into Bruin territory, the Canadians go after it, and Dallas Smith against Ferguson, and it's over the glass again. Eddie Johnston went to the referee Hood, indicating that in his opinion the faceoff should have been outside, that it went off Ferguson. But the referee said no. That type of protestation very seldom gets anywhere. Boston clearing it out on the right wing. Tremblay turning. The Bruins doing an excellent job in this period of checking the Canadians. They're having difficulty getting a concerted attack organized. Now Cashman goes high in the air with that flip shot. Someone grabbed it on the fly. Smith against Ferguson. Don Orry ahead to Cashman. He cleared it ahead. Esposito goes after it. Hodge over on this side. Esposito against Lemaire. J.C. Tremblay. LaRose catching up with it on the right side. Down with Guy Lapointe and Ferguson. LaRose over the line. And Don Orry cleared it but not out. Lemaire trying to get it in front. LaRose bounces to the boards. Jammed out of the play by Orry. Hodge ahead for Cashman. To Esposito. Esposito slowly to the line. Esposito feeding it in front. Tremblay. Ahead to LaRose. Hodge, who has done a fine job all night. Back checking for the Bruins. Got back there once again. Cashman clearing it to the line. Over to the other side. Esposito rolling it ahead. Canadians and the Bruins on the move, making changes. J.C. Tremblay. Out it comes to Lemaire at the line. Rochefort going ahead, and the rebound on the shot by Lemaire. Rochefort reaching, and he was offside.
A reminder again of the telecast of next Wednesday's game in Toronto between the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens, with the game brought to you in part by Imperial Oil and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors.
The Mahavlich clearing it to the left side. Backstrom is on the ice for the second time tonight. The first time out there, he had an assist. Backstrom was belted by Busick. Now Rick Smith ahead to McKenzie. Knocked off the puck by Mahavlich. Rick Smith in on the boards with Savard. Face-off will be at the Bruins blue line. 8:21 left.
Eddie Johnson is quite a quarterback out there at this point in the hockey game. He just had Fred Stanfield call back for some words of advice. He's been talking it up with his players, with the officials. And along with it, Johnston has played an excellent game here tonight. And the Bruins still trying to figure out exactly what it is they're trying to figure out at this point. As Ted Green now skates over, he gets a new stick.
Backstrom over the line. Backstrom getting set, takes the shot, off the leg it goes. Busick for Boston. Out over the line, poked it ahead, and Stanfield shot it the rest of the way. Savard over to Mahavlich. Boston leading 3-2. Canadians trying to get something organized. It goes to Savard. He cleared it into Boston territory. Busick back there, bumped by Backstrom. Busick now against Mahavlich. At the point, Savard back in for Mahavlich. A pass blocked by Stanfield ahead to McKenzie. McKenzie passed it to the Canadiens line. Harper to Rochefort. Rochefort coming through center at the line, rolled it ahead, and these Bruin forwards are getting back. McKenzie slides a pass to the right wing, and Savard knocked it off the boards for Mahavlich. Here's Mahavlich to Backstrom. Backstrom hitting the Boston line. Offside with Mahavlich going in there. And that has militated against the Canadiens quite frequently here in this third period. The offside.
Ralph Backstrom with 2 appearances on the ice tonight. He's been skating for 8 or 9 days. His only practice session with the Canadian club was yesterday, however. Surprising that he was in uniform tonight. They said he would begin probably next Wednesday in Toronto.
Sanderson, Marcotte, and Westphal. Against the Montreal line of Richard, Ray-Jean-Houle, and Redmond. 7:17 left in the hockey game. And as the seconds tick off, time becomes a big factor in this game. The way the Bruins have been checking in this period. There's Sanderson after J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay spinning to get away from Westphal. Now it's Guy Lapointe out with Richard, Redmond, and Ray-Jean-Houle. They clear it in. Eddie Johnson knocking it to Dallas Smith. Smith ahead to Marcotte. Marcotte down to the line. The shot and the rebound. Westphal and Houle going after it. Sanderson going to feed it back into the corner. Richard got it out. Now it's Houle ahead to Richard over the line. Richard lost it. Boston with Westphal on the right wing. There's Guy Lapointe working his way in. Sanderson took him out of the play, and the crowd reacted on that. Westphal ahead to Marcotte. Marcotte to Sanderson. Sanderson clearing it right in front, and Marcotte couldn't pick it up. J.C. Tremblay ahead on the right side. It was deflected just enough away from Redmond for Boston to get it. Esposito shooting this time from the right side. Richard. His pass gobbled up by Westphal. Guy Lapointe coming to center ice. Faked the pass. Still has it. Tremblay waiting for Richard to get onside. Feeds it into the corner. Richard going after Cashman. And they're going to get a whistle and a face-off in Boston territory. 5:35 left.
Cash in on the cold weather protection of Esso-Rad antifreeze. Now only $2.95 a gallon at participating Esso dealers.
Savard and Harper playing up on the points. Savard couldn't keep it in. It's shot off the boards, and that's Ted Green with the helmet. Ferguson watching him. Now LaRose moves in. LaRose gets it. He centered it right out in front, and Esposito has it. Esposito with Cashman and Hodge. Esposito gets it to the right side. Hodge into the corner. Esposito tried to center it. Now Cashman. Hodge gets it to the side of the net. Cashman and Harper fighting for it, and the whistle. Face off in Canadian territory.
And a check of our scoreboard, 3-2 the Bruins in this game. New York 1-0 over Toronto in the third. St. Louis 1-0 over Detroit in the second. And Pittsburgh leading Vancouver 3-1 in the third.
And the face-off right on. And Muir holds on.
There has been a change, Danny. 1-1 now, Chicago and Minnesota. Stan Mikita scoring for the Hawks at 3:01 of the second period from Dennis Hull.
Lemaire clearing it to the left side. Savard ahead for Ferguson. Down at center. Hodge after Ferguson. Green cleared it back. Now then Harper over the line into the corner. Ferguson centering it. Lemaire took it right in front of the Rose, and he missed it. Esposito, a nice move to get away from Savard. Esposito over the line, a weak backhander, and it's Cashman on the boards with it. In front it comes. Savard for Montreal. Out with Ferguson. Ferguson couldn't come up with it. Savard again. Over for Lemaire. Lemaire clearing it in. And it's Green for the Boston Bruins. Montreal making changes. So are the Bruins. Hodge, after faking a pass, takes it into the center ice area. There's the big drive. And Harper starting away for Montreal. Harper down on the right side. Rolled it across the line. 3:50 left in the game. Rick Smith off the boards for McKenzie. Guy Lapointe at the point. There's the shot. He's wide with it. Busick clearing it back into the corner. Backstrom is on the ice again for Montreal. McKenzie cleared it out over the line. Rochefort to J.C. Tremblay. Canadians again shooting it back in there. But they are not having too much success in getting the concerted attack organized. Now they try. Backstrom in on the boards. Here's Rochefort getting it back. Guy Lapointe closing in for the shot. Eddie Johnson got that screen shot. Stanfield coming down with Busick. Stanfield. And the whistle had gone. And Mahovlich and McKenzie, I think, had the set two with their sticks, and the referee blew the whistle, and McKenzie and Mahovlich, I believe, will both go out.
Boston coach Don Johnson did not like the idea that the whistle went when the Bruins had that break. I think that Mahovlich has received a misconduct penalty in the process. Not a good thing for the Canadiens with so little time remaining and the team trailing by 1. So there's his reaction as he's ordered out of the hockey game with just 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to play. Kenzie in the penalty box.
Excuse me, miss. What does SO Extra performance mean to you?
Smooth idling, baby.
John McKenzie, 2 minutes pour avoir cinglé. Au Canadien, le numéro 20, Pete Mahovlich, 2 minutes pour avoir cinglé. 10 minutes, mauvaise conduite. Et une mauvaise conduite de partie. À 16 minutes, 49 secondes. The penalties to Boston, number 19, John McKenzie, 2 minutes for slashing. And to Canadians, number 20, Pete Mahovlich, 2 minutes for slashing, a 10-minute misconduct penalty, and a game misconduct penalty at 16 minutes, 49 seconds.
Phil Roberto has gone to the penalty box. Mahovlich is out for the night. He's almost in the shower by now, I would think. And McKenzie in the penalty box for Boston. So they're playing 5-a-side. The Bruins with the 1-goal lead, leading 3-2. J.C. Tremblay back for Montreal. Dropping it to Richard. And now there are 3 minutes left in the hockey game as Guy Lapointe starts out. Comes slowly to center. Shot knocked down by Don Orr ahead to Sanderson. Sanderson on the boards against Réjean-Houle. Westfall losing it to Richard. There's the shot. Réjean-Houle trying to pick up the rebound, and Boston's Westfall ahead to Sanderson. Sanderson shooting it in. Guy Lapointe in possession for Montreal, lost it to Westfall, who fell. Guy Lapointe ahead to Réjean-Houle. Richard misses the right wing pass, goes after it, and Don Orr cleared it out. With Sanderson sending Montreal back into their own zone again. Guy Lapointe ahead to Réjean-Houle. Houle hitting the Boston line. Dallas Smith after him. It's centered. And Sanderson, he was right there, very coolly cleared it down the ice. 2 minutes left now. And the Bruins have done a great checking job in this period on Montreal, protecting that 1-goal lead. Redmond goes to the line. Second effort, cleared it in. Hodge knocking it into the center ice area, and it's Savard. Tremblay. Esposito doing the forward checking now, and it's Redmond trying to get skating room down on the right wing to the Boston line. He's over the line. Redmond going in, shot it. Green got a piece of it, and it went wide. And Redmond worked his way in there nicely for Montreal. J.C. Tremblay. Minute and 18 seconds left. Richard leaving it for Redmond. Here's Redmond starting away from Hodge. McKenzie back on. Ferguson is on the ice for Montreal in the place of Mahovlich. There's Ferguson off the boards. Backhand shot. Ferguson again trying to center it. Here it comes in front. Ferguson turning, centering it. Now Harper winds up. Flip it in there. Redmond couldn't get it. Redmond has it now. Foley is at the net. Harper shoots it. And he fails to score. Mears on the bench. Canadians 6 attackers. Ferguson getting back. Esposito has it to Hodge. Over to Hodge. Hodge going in. Shoot. Score! Boston. With Hodge from Esposito. And the Bruins put it on ice. Leading 4-2.
Ken Hodge has played a pretty good hockey game tonight. Kind of fitting that he gets that goal. The Canadians waited to put Mears on the bench when they had the best sustained attack that they have had in this period going for them, and then a pass went astray in the Boston zone. And Esposito threw it up to Hodge, and it was in the open net.
Boston's goal scored by number 8, Ken Hodge, assisted by number 7, Phil Esposito, at 19 minutes, 27 seconds.
1927, Hodge getting the goal, Esposito the assist. And Ferguson clearing through center. Smith ahead to Green. And Hodge gets it back into his own zone. Rick Smith got it to the line. LaRose keeping it back in there. It rolls right in front, and Eddie Johnson cleared it to the corner. Mears is back in goal, of course, now for Montreal. LaRose. Left wing pass. They're counting off the seconds. Esposito has it. 3 seconds. Esposito to the corner, and the game is over. Boston, the league-leading Bruins, defeating the third-place Montreal Canadiens 4-2.
Shots on goal in the third period by the Bruins, 9 for a game total of 32. By the Canadiens, 6 for a game total of 27. In just a moment, our 3-star selection and summary.
That's what we had in mind when we built our newest battery. A battery with more muscle, more guts, 35% more powerful than the next battery in our line. Made possible by its unique polypropylene construction. There is no better way to start your car on a cold winter morning. The Atlas. Atlas Red Brute. We're so sure of it that it has a lifetime guarantee. If the Red Brute fails to hold a charge for the original owner while it's in the car we put it in, we'll replace it free. There's a bit of the Brute in every Atlas battery. A complete line built to meet every need. See your SO dealer for complete details on all our written guarantees.
Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant les 3 étoiles du match de ce soir, tels que choisis par la soirée du hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's 3 stars as selected by Hockey Night in Canada. La première étoile, the first star, Eddie Johnston. La deuxième étoile, the second star, Jean-Claude Tremblay. La troisième étoile, the third star, Phil Esposito.
So we had an exciting hockey game here at the Forum tonight. 4-2, the Bruins over Montreal. The goal scorers, Cashman, J.C. Trombley, and Sanderson in the first. Tardif, Esposito in the second. 19 goals for Esposito now, and then Hodge into an empty net at 19:27 of the third period. Shots on goal, Boston 32, Montreal 27. Final score, New York at Toronto. Stemkowski, the only goal scorer for the Rangers, 1-0 for the New York Rangers over the Leafs. And in the third period at St. Louis 2, Detroit no score. Jim Lorentz has scored twice for the St. Louis Blues. And also in the third period, Pittsburgh leading Vancouver 3-1. Blackburn, Prentice, Bathgate, and Boudry are the goal scorers there. Chicago 1, Minnesota 1. Goldsworthy and Makita scored the goals in that one. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
This is Sita with a nose that can pick up the scent of salmon from 20 paces. And this is Stretch and Seal, a new kind of food wrap from Esso Research. We've put new Stretch and Seal between the cat and the salmon. Stretch and Seal has been placed on this container to show how effectively it stretches to seal airtight. See how it stretches? Sita can't even smell the tasty salmon from inches away. Now see what happens when we remove the Stretch and Seal wrap. Stretch and Seal seals so effectively it fools a hungry cat. Stretch and Seal has this unique combination of stretch and strength to seal airtight without tearing. Get strong, stretchy Stretch and Seal next time you buy food wrap. It's available in all food markets. Stretch and Seal, new from Esso Research.
And a reminder once again that next Wednesday night, December 9th, another big game on Hockey Night in Canada as the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs play at Maple Leaf Gardens. And so the final score once again tonight, Boston 4, Montreal 2. This is Brian McFarland saying so long, everybody, from the Forum in Montreal.
In Canada, brought to you by Imperial Oil and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors. Ford, the better idea company with better products for you. And by Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale and Molson Canadian Lager Beer. Hockey Night in Canada is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction by any means, in whole or in part, is not permitted.
The award-winning team of Linda Goranson and Gerard Parks co-star in How'd You Like to Visit Niagara Falls? Tomorrow night's Corwin story at 9 o'clock, 9:30 in Newfoundland on CBC Television.